Well, hello, everybody. This is Chrystallynn, cowgirl astrologer, and I am so excited this morning because I have a very special, some special ladies that are joining me this morning for my time twin study that I've been talking about. And I know a lot of you guys have been asking me about. I am introducing a study where I'm studying people born on the same day and the same year. Now, it even gets a little more fun when you get to actually study people who are born with the same ascendant as well. That means they were born close in time. And so in this Google Hangout right now, I am talking to Anita and I am talking to Katie, who have joined me. These are my first time twins. Of course, they're my Leo women making the debut with me. So hello, Katie, and hello, Anita.
Hi.
How are you this morning?
Good.
Good.
I'm doing good. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. So you guys, Anita, you reached out to me when I put the time twin study out and said, hey, I've already, met somebody. And so I wanted to ask you guys a few questions today, and just kind of part of the research is the questionnaire and asking questions and not only finding the similarities, but finding differences. So we'll be talking about that today. Anita, do you want to tell us how you guys met?
We met in a bathroom.
Okay.
One of our local sports bars.
Okay.
Yep. And it was the first question I asked her, because that's the first question I ask everybody. When's your birthday?
Right. Now, Anita, I'm not getting your you coming up on the camera here. Do you want to just check your camera real quick? I want to make sure everyone gets to see you. I don't know. I could see you a minute ago. I don't know if you need to click anything.
It looks fine on my end.
It looks fine on your end? Okay, maybe it's just my end. All right, well, we'll keep going then. So, and I apologize for interrupting. So you guys met in a bathroom.
Yep. And she told me her birthday, and of course I didn't believe her. I was like, did somebody tell you my birthday?
That is so...
Yeah, and then I pulled up the site to look up her chart, and I was like, oh my God, every single thing is exactly the same. This can't be real. So I had to look it up again, and I was like, wow, that's so cool. We should be like twins.
Yeah. Well, that's
totally different.
What's that?
We act totally different. We have completely different upbringings. The way our family life was, there's so many differences, but our charts are almost identical. So that made me curious.
Yes. Well, and that's what I'm looking at. Now, let me ask you this question, just out of kind of strange. When you met her, did you have any kind of feeling that there was an energetic connection, or was it just kind of a typical random, like, hey, what's your birthday? I mean, do you remember having any?
I felt very comfortable around her. I wouldn't say it was any energetic. I just felt, I don't know, no anxiety, just real comfortable around her.
Okay. That's a good point. Now, how about you, Katie? You got into this, you got pulled into this astrology thing. What did you think about it? Had you ever thought about anything like this, of people having connections like this?
No, I was not familiar with it at all. She, was talking to me about it. And then when she was talking about it, I got more interested. It's like, oh my gosh, really, that's cool. And she even went to the detail as far as what minute and where, and, who's older. It was pretty awesome to hear her talk about it. And she was excited about it, which made me excited about it. Yeah, as far as anything, I never thought two things about it until I met Anita and she talked about it.
Okay. Well, that's good. Now, Anita, I am going to have you check that camera again, because I am seeing Katie pop up, but I'm only getting a black screen when you do, and I want everyone to see you. So,
okay.
I know, yeah, it is frozen.
All right, hold on.
Okay, let's check that. There you go. I see something. Because the other thing, and while she's checking that, I'm going to talk a little bit. the other thing that's so amazing to me, and I've seen some pictures of you guys together too, that, you know, there's even a physical resemblance. And I don't know if you guys out there have noticed that, to people that are born on your birthday or close to you, that, you know, we obviously know in astrology that the planets have their own physical characteristics. And, you know, both of you are Leo women. And, you know, that's powerful. Leo women are ruled by the sun. So, you know, when it's kind of like, you know, when the sun comes up, what do we all do? Our eyes go to that light. And so I think it's really interesting. And a lot of times, you know, with Leo women, they love to get out. They love to go party. They love to go have fun. They are the sign of celebration. So, but what's interesting about you two is you both have a Libra rising. Now, that's what we get when we look at the time of birth. Now, both of you are born in different areas, quite a distance apart. So for all of us who are studying this and looking at this, Anita, let's see, let me make sure I get this right. Actually, Katie, you're born with a Libra ascendant at 1 degree, okay? And Anita is born with a Libra ascendant at 13 degrees. So just like twins who are born like 15 minutes apart, you know, you guys would probably be born technically about an hour apart in astrology, okay? With the way that the rising sign, because the rising sign will stay in for 2.5 hours before it changes.
Mm-hmm.
Now, what that does is it changes up a little bit about your life path. So you, like you both said, we've lived different lives. Well, just having that much of a degree difference changes things up because it changes the second house, and I'll explain that. How are we doing, Anita? Are you still there?
Yeah, you don't see me?
I still don't see you.
No.
I want to see you. Let's see.
I see me.
You see you? Okay. Well, I can see the screen, like what's recording. So like I can see Katie pop up, and I can see the screen's black when you pop up. So I know we had it when we started.
Uh-oh. Dropped the Should I just call you back?
Yeah, why don't you do that? Why don't you call me back and come right back in?
Okay.
Okay, no problem. All right, let's see if that works. So I'm going to keep going here a little bit while Anita fixes that, because I want you guys to see Anita. So what's interesting, I'm going to talk to you a little bit, Katie, that you have a lot of Leo in your chart. So not only do you have the sun in your chart, and this will go for both ladies, but you have, there you are. Yay.
Yay.
There you go.
Yay.
There you go. Perfect. Okay. So I'm just talking about a little bit about your charts here. And those of you who follow astrology know, I'm going to go back to the ascendant now that Anita's back. You have about a 13-degree difference, which for Anita, that puts your second house in Scorpio. And for Katie, that puts your second house in Libra. Now, the second house is a lot of times how we're raised, our family values, what we want in our future, okay, what our values are. And so I had sent you both a questionnaire. And I thought it was interesting because in one of the questions I asked both of you, and I've asked everyone who's participated, the question was, you know, if money were no object and time were no object, what would your biggest dream be? What would you want to do? You know, I wanted to get everybody's kind of the soul of what their dream is. And you both had a little bit different dreams. And it was really neat because I was able to see it in the second house energy, why that was different. Okay, and I'll explain that to you guys. So, Katie, you really have a heart. You wanted to travel the world, live in a nice house with personal trainer and chef, which I love, by the way. That sounds so great. go boating a lot, meet the person I'm supposed to spend the rest of my life with. And I thought that was really neat because one, you know, when you look at the life of a Leo energy, you know, they want the best. They are the divas of the zodiac. They love fine things. They want to walk in. They want, you know, the door opened. They want the champagne. They want, it has to be perfect, you know. So that's something that's really neat. But because you have your second house in Libra, that also is that desire to have that ultimate partner and that desire for the fine things of life. Libra is another energy that likes the best. So we're looking at second house values. Now, when I did a comparison to Anita's chart, and I looked to see where's the difference coming from. So you wanted to live at home with your family and tons of animals and a very large home.
Yes.
Which I love too. And so there's animals here. Okay. We love that. But a little more privacy, a little more like this is my home and this is my life. I got that feeling like you wanted to really create it in this space. And you have your second house in Scorpio. So do you see the difference there in those values that you wanted a little more private life where you want to go travel the world? You want to get out there and go, you know?
Yeah.
So again, this is fun for astrology for us to see how much the second house actually does. You know, these houses do influence us. Okay. Now, both of you have the moon in Sagittarius. Okay, so this is the, you know, I love the birds. What are your birds' names? I think you told me.
Butter and Peanut.
Butter and Peanut. They are so adorable.
Thanks.
Now, the moon in Sagittarius is usually, you know, I like to call the professor or the guru. It's somebody, you know, who really values learning, education, knowing. Have you both always felt that drive for learning and philosophy, or how has that played out for you guys?
Definitely. I'm a big nerd.
I didn't get that drive until I was older.
Yeah, and at what point did you start feeling that? Did you?
In my late 20s, early 30s.
Okay. And that makes sense because that would mean that you know, we enter our first Saturn from 28 to 30, and that's when our life really, really changes a lot. Now, interestingly enough, both of you have Saturn in Virgo and the North Node conjunct there. And Katie, that might, or Anita, that might also be why this love for animals has really come out for you. Virgo rules small animals. So having a North Node energy there, Saturn being kind of this mission that you have, it's a part of who you are, and that drive gives you that need to love to take care of animals. And I see you've got ducks and the little birds and everything.
Cool.
How about you, Katie? Were you ever connected to animals or horses, anything like that?
Yeah, as far as between dogs and cats, I'm definitely a cat person, but I love turtles and horses.
Okay.
Those are like my two favorite animals.
Okay.
Turtle?
I love the turtles. Yes, I like that. Well,
Yeah.
And interestingly enough, because you both share the moon in Sagittarius, and I don't know if a lot of people know this, but Sagittarius is one of the #1 signs for being connected to horses. Okay, it's ruled by Jupiter, and Jupiter rules horses. So Sagittarius and Pisces. So it makes sense.
Your moon is in Pisces, right?
My moon is in Pisces, yes.
Cool.
And I have my 10th house in Sagittarius, so I've been a horse trainer in my career. See how that can work?
Mm-hmm.
So kind of interesting. Now, I do see that both of you have Mars in Gemini, and I was reading your questionnaire here. I think it was Katie. You've worked with, I asked you guys where you worked, but But I noticed you worked for, was that Nissan? Did you work for a car dealership? Did you do anything like that?
I did. I worked at a Nissan car dealership.
Did you like being sales and stuff? Did you do well with that?
I hated it. I didn't do well with it.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, it's okay. You know, it's just funny because Mars, a lot of times when I see Mars and Gemini energy, and you both share this, you get the salesman, and it usually is around vehicles or cars, you know, so that's a common, it's kind of like part of your life path you had to go through, you know, like, okay.
I sold cars for about 2 weeks at a Toyota dealership. And now I'm still in sales. Me and my boyfriend are both Mars Gemini, and we're both in home improvement sales.
Okay. That's another perfect example. Now, what are you doing, Katie?
I am a marketing manager with American Family Care, and then I also work marketing with Harley Davidson.
Oh, okay. Well, we've got Harleys over here. And here again, you guys, is a perfect example and why I want to share these videos with you, because Mars really represents our drive, especially for women, and often our career. And so here we have two women sharing the same birthday, sharing the same life path, both working in marketing, home improvement, Harley Davidson. You know, I love it because you're using that gift that you have. You know, you're using that gift that you have. Now, I see that, you know, life path was a little different because I think you were raised, Katie, with two parents. So I don't know if you guys want to talk about that. And then, Anita, I think you said that you had a different experience there.
Yeah, my dad left when we were 6, and it's just my mother that raised us.
Okay. And then for you, Katie, you said you had both parents go all through growing up?
I did, yes. You're cutting in and out. I don't know if it's my feed, but yes, I had both parents up until way.
Okay. So here again, for you, Anita, I mean, and this is all of us learning, we all have our life paths, but here again, I'm really seeing this primary difference that I see in your charts is in the second house. And you had the second house in Scorpio, second house being those years, usually represents the years from, you know, 7 to 14, but 6 years old, kind of those difficult years, Scorpio energy, you know, kind of going through emotional stuff in the family, you know, and so you experience that where just based on degrees, Anita's changed just a little bit. So she has Libra in the second house, which can be a little easier going when it comes to family things, kind of like, you know, family things can be more balanced. So again, for all of us out here learning, when we're looking at, you know, these things, look at the houses. They really tell a lot. They really tell a lot. But, you know, the good news is that everything that we learn from these experiences as we become adults and as we use our gifts and talents gives us more compassion and understanding for other people. And it changes a little bit about who we are. And yet at the same time, you know, we can make something really good out of these situations. So now when you guys first met, you know, in talking to each other, did you have any epiphanies that you found amongst each other that you were surprised about, or?
We both have been, never been married.
Okay.
And
okay.
We're 36 now.
Okay.
37. Oops.
Yeah. And I think we both have been in a...
That's not always a bad thing.
And correct me if I'm wrong, Anita, but I think we both have been in a bad relationship, correct? Where like abuse or something?
Yeah, alcoholism always played into him.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and I was physically abused. So I know that was something that we had in common.
Yeah, I did date a guy that was violent once.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. And those are interesting things. And that also shows us, you know, I think what's neat about the study and especially neat to like actually look at these charts together and then to share experiences. But how many experiences do we share with other people? We don't maybe understand that there's certain astrological similarities, but that we can understand each other. You know, you meet that person and you start going, yeah, I've been through that too. And I think that, you know, the universe does that so we can understand each other and be compassionate to each other. Let's see what else is going on here. Yeah, the other difference that I'm seeing for you guys, and we're going to look at, is in the 8th house, because Anita, you have the 8th house in Taurus, and Katie has the 8th house in Aries. Again, this is a shift. Now, your 8th house can be marriage, can be intimacy, can also be represent money, family stuff, family wills, in-laws, all that stuff. So there's a little bit of a difference here. And Katie, being that you have Aries there may have been a lot more competition in those areas of your life, maybe even competition with family members. I don't know if you can testify to that. You may really kind of feel like, I have to protect myself in these relationships. I'm not willing to give all, And then Anita, with Taurus being there, and you mentioned earlier, you really want that property and that home and that security. That's, in your intimate place. So that kind of makes sense, that comes through for you. Does that sound about right? Or does that make sense to you guys?
It makes sense.
Yeah. Yeah. Now, in your career house, you both have the 10th house in Cancer. Your career house is how you express all of this energy that we're looking at. We look at this big picture of all the dynamics inside of you. But when it actually comes out for both of you, it comes out in Cancer. And I think that's really interesting because that's the nurturer. That's somebody that everybody comes to, like, the mom on the block, the person that everybody, really has that connection with. Have you guys felt that way, that you played kind of that nurturing role to your friends and family or in career?
Yeah, definitely.
Oh, I mean, all the kids in the neighborhood always come over to this house, but I don't know if I like it that much.
Well, that's because you're Leo. They're making a mess. They're getting sticky fingers on everything.
Yes, they are.
How about in your career, Anita? I mean, because 10th house really can represent career. In your career, do you find that you kind of take this kind of mothering role? I mean, you've got 2 birds on your shoulder and you've got 2 little baby ducks back there. That looks a little mothering to me.
Yeah. I don't see that in my career. Not yet.
Okay. And you guys were born in 1979. Wow. And it's funny. I've been getting a lot of questionnaires, and for those of you guys out there who don't know anything about the study, I'll put the link below in the video and the questionnaire. You can email me. I've been doing a lot of questionnaires, and I've gotten a lot of people born from 77 to 79. That seems to be, that little thread of energy seems to be, the most that I'm getting back. And I've also noticed that those years right there, 77 to 79, you guys have such an instinct for health and for, in terms of the earth, and you're in the next generation up, a little further down the road politically, but are going to be, have a big voice in taking care of our earth. There seems to be everybody talking about that. Have you felt that way also, that you're concerned about those things? Maybe not.
I used to be more, but I'm just so busy now with 4 kids. I don't have a chance to even think about anything.
Yeah. Well, how about you, Katie? Do you think about those things for Earth?
I don't want to sound like a bad person, but no, I've never really thought about it. I mean, I don't litter or anything like that, but I never really thought about it.
Okay, well, no, I think what we're seeing here, and the reason why I say that is because we have different generations that seem to, in these questionnaires that I'm getting, seem to have a certain kind of drawing to, everybody participates to some degree in the things that we care about around us. And I think it's because both of you have Saturn and the North Node in Virgo. I'm seeing that happen for that generation, and this may be something that develops in you, but a real care for the earth. So again, this may be still growing in you guys, but wait until you get into like your 40s and 50s and you're looking around at the earth for your kids and stuff. You're going to have a certain gifting that you were given the day that you were born that helps contribute to this earth, but we're all still developing it. Because it took me a long time to develop those things too. I'm still developing them. So, yeah. Anyway, well, this is good. I want to thank you guys. I'm just looking to see if there's anything else I can give you for what is coming up. Actually, what's really cool about this moment for both of you is the planet Jupiter is in Libra right now. Just moved into Libra on September 9th. Okay, now Jupiter is at about 7-8 degrees, right between both of you. It's called your ascendant, and it sets your life path. So this is going to be a very, very powerful year for you guys. And even just having this conversation might be, setting it off. But when Jupiter is on your ascendant, it's your outer persona. It's how people see you. So this is
I read that if Jupiter's in Libra in your first house, it's because Jupiter's the planet of expansion.
Yes.
And your first house is where you look. I read that you can gain weight during this time.
I hate to tell you, but that can be a little true.
I've gained a little bit of weight, but I think it's in my 12th house right now.
Yes, it is. Yes, it is. It's at about 7-8 degrees right now, and so your ascendant's at 13. Now, how about you, Katie? Have you noticed anything since September changing your life this last month? Anything radical happening?
I lost weight. I've been going to the gym and trying to eat differently.
Good for you.
Thanks. I've lost weight.
Okay. Well, that's the thing about this is, and I think you said it there, I'm trying to eat differently. So see, there is that little health consciousness, and we all have that. But again, you guys have a special gifting for understanding the things of the earth and those things. But this is going to be a powerful year for you guys. So I want to encourage you, the seeds that you plant this year, it's starting off a new 12-year cycle. Now, because you both have Libra in your ascendant, Libra is the relationship sign. So you could have a lot of relationship things going on in your life this year, good and bad. And I say that because Jupiter expands the truth and the things in our life. So if there are things in your life that haven't been, giving you good energy and helping you along, sometimes you see those things clear and you don't even want to put up with them. You have a little more strength and resolve with Jupiter behind you. So, and then other good things can come in, like this conversation, little everyday things. Start to notice that this will be a good year for you. So, well, I want to thank you guys for coming on and let me ask you some questions. And to start off this series that I'm doing on Time Twins, you were my perfect debut.
Thank you.
Thank you. All right. Well, if you guys have any questions, you know where to find me, cowgirlastrologer.com. And I want to thank everybody. If you guys have any questions, I am going to be talking a lot more about this. I've been doing a lot of work behind the scenes. So this just gives us a first taste of how this is going and what we can learn from each other. So again, thank you, everybody. Thank you, Anita. Thank you, Katie, for coming on this morning.
You're welcome. Thank you.
All right. And we will be talking to everybody
Thank you.
later. Bye-bye, everyone.
Bye.
Bye.